TJ Watt. He wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback.
You know, it's not like the Steelers don't want to give him a raise. They just don't want to give him the raise above Myles Garrett. Again, all the eggs are in the 2025 basket. How do they play footsie with TJ Watt?
Picture this. It's July 2025, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming off the heels of one of the most aggressive off seasons in their franchise's history. They signed Aaron Rodgers, they traded for DK Metcalf, they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey, and everything's set up for a championship run. Except their best player just posted a cryptic peace sign on Instagram and hasn't shown up to work. This is the TJ Watt story that nobody's talking about, but everybody honestly should be. But in the meantime, Omar Khan just got a 3-year contract extension, and in my opinion, I think he deserved it. But before we get to the content, we just dropped a brand new video on our baseball channel, Uni Diamond Talk. It's a monthly recap of everything that's gone on in baseball over the past month. We're giving away jerseys to every subscriber that turns on their notifications on that channel. And real quick, today's video is sponsored by Bear Mattress. Bear Mattress is a premium fiberglass-free mattress designed to upgrade your sleep, improve your overall quality of life, and it is conveniently shipped to your door for free. The reason I love Bear Mattress is that first you have to take a sleep quiz that matches you to the perfect mattress based on your body type and sleep preferences. I was matched to the Bear Star Hybrid mattress, and I've been sleeping on it for the past year. I personally love this mattress because I personally run really hot and am prone to night sweats due to the stress of a trade happening any moment and me needing to jump out of bed to cover it. And they're so confident that you're going to enjoy their mattress that they're willing to give you a 120-night sleep trial to test the mattress and ensure that you love it. And it gets even better, guys. If you click in the link in the description down below or go to bearmattress.com/microphone and use my promo code microphone, you'll get 40% off of your mattress. That's bearmattress.com/microphone or my promo code microphone to get 40% off of your mattress. It's definitely worth trying out because you get a 120-day trial with this mattress. And thank you, Bear Mattress, for today's sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Back in April, TJ Watt posts a photo on Instagram, and it's just him in a Steelers uniform throwing up a peace sign with no caption or no explanation. And here's the kicker, he still hasn't clarified what he meant. Andrew Filippioni made a brilliant point. When Watt was accused of skipping an exit meeting earlier, he immediately refuted it. But here, he's been radio silent. And that's when you know that something is seriously wrong. See, in 2021, when Watt held out for his last contract, he at least showed up to camp. He did what they call a hold-in. He was present, but he wasn't practicing. But this time, Watt has been a complete no-show. He skipped voluntary OTAs, he skipped mandatory minicamp, eating over $100,000 in fines. Ben Roethlisberger, who knows this organization better than anyone, said it best on his podcast. My only speculation is they must not be close. If you were close, I would think that TJ would do what he did last time. And here's where it gets really interesting. There's a huge difference between last contract extension and this contract extension, and it has to do with one of the Pittsburgh Steelers' biggest division rivals. Do you remember when Myles Garrett signed that massive, unexpected contract extension in Cleveland? 4 years, $160 million, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. That deal didn't just reset the market, it blew up the entire AFC North. ESPN's Brooke Pryor reported the Steelers weren't necessarily anticipating Myles Garrett resetting the market in such a big way. Translation, the Steelers got caught with their pants down. Here's the brutal math. TJ Watt has 108 career sacks. Myles Garrett has 102. Watt has 33 forced fumbles to Garrett's 20. Yet Myles Garrett is making $40 million a year, while Watt's stuck at $28 million on a deal from 2021. Do you understand TJ Watt's point here? The Steelers, the same franchise known for patience and building through the draft, just went absolutely nuclear throughout the offseason. They signed a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal. When asked why Pittsburgh, Rodgers said that it starts with Mike Tomlin. But let's be real, it also starts with having an elite defense anchored by TJ Watt. They also traded for DK Metcalf and immediately signed him to a 5-year, $150 million extension. They flipped their all-pro safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. They went from conservative to Vegas high roller overnight. But here's the crazy part, they did all of this this while their best player was threatening to leave. So let me break down the financials because this is where it gets fascinating. The Steelers currently have $18.6 million in cap space. That sounds tight, right? Wrong. TJ Watt's current cap hit is $30.4 million. If they extend him, they could actually reduce that number by $8 to $9 million this year through restructuring. Plus, by cutting Preston Smith and Larry Ogunjobi, they were able to free up another $20.4 million in cap space. And in 2026, the Pittsburgh Steelers are projected to have $86.4 million in cap space, which is good for the third most in the entire NFL. So when people say that they can't afford to pay TJ Watt, they're either lying or just plain bad at math. But there's a huge reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers might not want to pay TJ Watt, and that's due to his durability. He's had groin injuries, a torn pec, knee issues, and an MCL sprain just last season that knocked him out of the playoffs. His brother JJ retired at 33 after his body broke down, and TJ turns 31 in October. But here's what the doubters miss. Even with those injuries, Watt has been the most productive pass rusher in football over the last 5 years. He's got 108 sacks in 8 seasons. He's the only player since 1982 to lead the NFL in sacks 3 times. He tied the single season sack record with 22.5. You don't let that walk over injury concerns, you just structure the deal intelligently. There are teams in the market to potentially trade for TJ Watt, but based off of what the Pittsburgh Steelers have done so far, I don't think it's likely. You don't go all in one offseason and then trade the best overall player on your team. It just doesn't make sense. But if they were to make such a decision, then here are some teams that could potentially trade for him. The Detroit Lions, in my opinion, make the most sense. They've got over $40 million in cap space. They need a pass rusher opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, and they're in Super Bowl or bust mode. Imagine Watt and Hutchinson coming off of the edges. That's a defensive coordinator's wet dream and offensive lineman's nightmare. The Philadelphia Eagles would be the ultimate betrayal. They just lost Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat. Howie Roseman loves making splashy moves, and according to Andrew Filippione, they've already discussed a package around Nolan Smith plus picks. This would cause Steelers fans to riot. The Green Bay Packers have the hometown narrative. Watt's from Wisconsin, and they've got $35.5 million in cap space. They need pass rush help, and it's almost too perfect from that perspective. The Washington Commanders, in my opinion, are the dark horse. Dan Quinn knows defense, they've got a rookie QB contract giving them flexibility, and they're trying to build something special. But here's my take. If the Steelers trade TJ Watt, then they're not serious about contending for a Super Bowl this year. So where do we go from here? Well, training camp starts on July 23rd at St. Vincent College, and that's when this gets real. In 2021, Watt held out until September 9th, which was 3 days before the season opener, before signing his current deal. The Steelers have a policy of not negotiating during the season, so if nothing happens by week 1, we're looking at a full season of drama. And here's what I think happens based on everything we know. The Steelers will let this drag out, they'll make Watt sweat throughout training camp, and then sometime before their final preseason game on August 21st and their season opener on September 7th, they'll eventually cave. Why? Because they have to. Look at what the Steelers have built. They have Aaron Rodgers for 1 year. They've got DK Metcalf locked up. They've got Jalen Ramsey in his extended prime. They have one of their most solid offensive lines that they've had in years after Dan Moore Jr. just left for Tennessee. This is their window right now. Without TJ Watt, they're just another decent team in a loaded AFC. With him, they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders in the same tier as the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion. Of course, based off the play of Aaron Rodgers. The advanced metrics tell the story. When Watt's on the field, the Steelers' defense is elite, and when he's not, they're just average. He had 6 forced fumbles last year, leading the entire NFL. He's not just getting sacks, he's creating turnovers that win games. Yes, his pass rush win rate of 19% was lower than Myles Garrett's historic 27.3%, but Watt faces more double teams and excels in run defense, where he literally graded as the best edge defender in football and consistently delivers in clutch moments. Here's what kills me about this whole situation. The Steelers finally have the quarterback situation figured out. They've got weapons on offense. They've rebuilt the defense around Watt. Everything is in place for a championship run, and they're haggling over money that they clearly have. The reports say that Watt wants $40 million per year to match Garrett. The Steelers are offering something in the $35 to $37 million range. We're talking about a $3 to $5 million per year gap for a guy who's been the face of your defense for 8 years. For the Steelers organization, this is embarrassing. I think eventually the Steelers are going to offer a 3-year, $115 million contract with $90 million guaranteed. It'll make Watt the second highest paid edge defender behind behind Garrett, but with more guaranteed money to account for his age. They'll structure it to reduce his 2025 cap hit, creating space for their championship push. Watt will report sometime in late August, all will be forgiven, and Steelers Nation will pretend this never happened. But make no mistake, this is a turning point for the franchise. They've shown that they're willing to wheel and deal like never before. They traded Minkah Fitzpatrick for crying out loud. They traded George Pickens as well. The Steelers are at a crossroads, but their moves have already indicated what they're probably going to do. They can pay TJ Watt and chase a championship with Aaron Rodgers, or they can let their best player walk and waste what might be their last shot at glory for years. The clock's ticking, training camp's coming, and somewhere in Wisconsin, TJ Watt is waiting for his phone to ring with the offer he deserves. Because if it doesn't, then that peace sign on Instagram might be the last thing that Steelers fans see of him in black and gold. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm going to leave a link to our latest MLB video in the end screen to meet you guys there. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.